and personal interests. Their conduct may have not been illegal, but it was reckless and politically unattractive. That's the Times backing out gently on this. But I want to go back to this sentence. What we have here is a well-meaning young couple who seem to have an extraordinarily indifference to or difficulty in understanding the normal divisions between government and personal interest. Damn right. They think government is personal interests. They do not get the difference in the two. They think government is supposed to be personally involved in everybody's lives. Government is how things are made prosperous. Government is how people are made happy. I don't know if the Times intended the deep meaning that is inherent in this sentence, but boy, is it ever there. They continue. A central argument is that while the Clintons' dealings were not pretty, you cannot apply the standards of the outside world to Arkansas, where 1,000 or so insiders run things in a loosey-goosey way that may look unethical or even illegal to outsiders. This logic holds that whatever the Clintons did was penny ante stuff that the Republicans and the press ought to be willing to overlook in service to the higher national interests. New York Times saying this. Well, New York Times is saying the same thing I have been saying on this show, that these people are so virtuous, they think they're so important, that they shouldn't be held to the same standards because the Clinton plan will not happen. The Clinton plan will be sidetracked, and can we all afford that? Yes. Yes. That's the one thing we can't afford. What we can't afford is for them to succeed with their plan when none of us will have any money. They'll have it all. Certainly there is a national interest in a viable presidency, progress on health care reform and other pressing issues, but the genius of the federal system does not reside in importing to Washington the faults and idiosyncrasies of state capitals. Ooh. New York Times again, echoing sentiments expressed by me. That where these people are in trouble is basically they've just tried to transfer the way they were doing business in Arkansas to the federal government, and it hasn't worked. The effort to keep a lid on the Clintons' personal and financial histories has led to the development of a distinctive Clinton style, to withhold critical information and to respond furiously with attacks on the motives of critics. It's a viable campaign practice, but the clumsy efforts to silence congressional critics and the possible White House interference with federal agencies demonstrate that it is a dangerous way to govern. New York Times, lead editorial today. We'll be back. Got to go back to your phone calls quickly. We'll do it right after this break.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Well, more and more of my listeners are telling me that their hot spring portable spa is one of the best investments they've made in themselves. After a tough day, nothing's better than unwinding in the warm, swirling waters of a hot spring portable spa. Hot Spring's exclusive Moto Massage Jet moves up and down your back while Jetstream jets relax the rest of you. Now, this spa stays hot, ready to use 24 hours a day, and Hot Spring costs only pennies a day to use and comes with a 5-year limited warranty. Now, you ought to try it. You really should. I've been in a Hot Spring spa. I enjoyed it. Loved it, in fact. Check your yellow pages for the dealer nearest you or call 1-800-299-RUSH. Take advantage of Hot Spring's special offer of no payments, no interest for 90 days on approved credit. Call 1-800-299-RUSH or, if you want to do this, it's simple too, visit your participating dealer for details. Go see one. A real thing cannot be imitated, my friends, just like me. Hot Spring Portable Spas, where America and my listeners go to relax.
Do you know there are only 44 sounds in the English language? 44. And when you learn these 44 sounds called phonics, you can read and spell almost everything. That's why Hooked on Phonics is so successful. We've set these 44 sounds to music, making learning to read simple and fun. So get hooked on phonics and take the mystery out of learning to read. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Kleiners is having their final reductions. It's a clearance on all fall and winter dresses, sportswear, and shoes. Save up to 75% off retail. Coordinates and separates, junior, missy, petite, and large sizes available. And a variety of styles and colors. Don't miss it. And Kleiners has their new spring fashions arriving daily. Check it out. Kleiners for savings right now. Kleiners on East Ash Street in the Wayne Plaza. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. HB Systems at 2902 Central Heights Road in the Brent King Building is Goldsboro's coast-to-coast computer operation with complete business systems, hardware, and software. They offer installations all across the USA. HB Systems offers custom software design and programming, training and support, as well as networking or standalone operations. These systems are custom designed for your business, whether you operate a one-person business or a large business. They know computers. HB Systems, 2902 Central Heights Road, Goldsboro. Call 778-9795.
Mighty fine beans, Cookie.
Yes, sir. Hey, Fester, let's hear the Rose of Alabama.
Sure thing.
Excuse me, but what's going on here?
Hey. Say, mister, don't you know better than to walk into a man's camp?
You all can't stay here.
What? And what are you, the sheriff?
Let's string him up.
Hold on a minute. You fellas don't realize you're in a zoo, do you?
Oh, what?
Listen, City Slicker, I think it's that time you rode this Oregon Trail right on out of here.
Oregon Trail? This is North Carolina.
Carolina, mister, you're out of your tree. See those iguanas?
Yeah?
And them scorpions? And roadrunners?
They're part of the zoo's new Sonora Desert exhibit. This really isn't the desert, just seems like it.
You mean these ain't real rocks?
Sorry.
Yow!
Real cactus, though.
Come see the new Sonora Desert at the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro. It's so lifelike you'd swear you're right in the desert.
Dad burn it, we been snookers.
All right, boys, let's mount up.
Before you go, one last thing.
What's that?
You mind getting off the zebras?
Telephone number to reach the EIB Network and Rush Limbaugh, 1-800-282-2882. Scott in Atlanta, glad you waited. Welcome to the show.
Rush, what it be?
Thank you for calling.
I want to get right to the point. If I got enough time left over, I got a suggestion for EIB.
Go ahead.
You know, on the big news items of the past few years, like Clarence Thomas, Nita Hill, Iran-Contra, Packwood, even recently Tanya and Nancy, I never remember the press agonizing over whether they've been covering those news stories too much or whether people cared about them. And I'm just curious of why so much soul-searching from the press now on this white
Well,
woman.
wait. Give me an example of some of the press soul-searching that you've seen or heard.
Well, I can't read an article in the newspaper. Well, I got a very liberal newspaper, Atlanta Journal and Constitution, and I can't read an article about Whitewater without an accompanying article about some kind of take on the people don't really care about this.
Well, okay, I see what you mean.
And whether the people think that there's always a question in there. Are we is the press making too much of Whitewater?
I know what you're talking about. I would like to go back to the Vince Foster death. Remember, after that, the press started doing these soul-searching shows. Did we have something to do with this? Did Vince kill himself because we're being too vicious now? Maybe we've got to pull back. I remember that. I also know what you mean. The press will run a very damaging story about the latest development in all this, and then side by side will be a story where they go out and talk to average Americans. The theme of the story is the average American doesn't care.
Yeah.
And they go out and get quotes. And that's how they spin it. I mean, that's how they're simply taking the bad news and softening it. Well, yeah, this really happened, but look at this. The American people don't care. But I disagree with you about Tanya and Nancy and some of these others. I do think that people complain all the time about too much Joey Buttafuoco and Amy Fisher.
But it wasn't the press complaining. It wasn't the press questioning that. The press never said, are we covering this too much? I'm saying they're questioning their own selves about this.
Well, I don't know. See, here in New York, when Joey Buttafuoco, my Joey Buttafuoco, was released from jail, having served 4 months for child molesting, and then became an instant pop culture hero. Is that not sick or something?
Yeah, it was very sick.
I mean, in the old days, Joey Buttafuoco would be worthless, penniless, unable to find a job, and there certainly wouldn't be a hero. But not true today. But even the reporters that were sent out to the TV reporters I saw, and I watched some news on this, they even in their own stories would speculate, gosh, why are we here? And they'd go talk to people on the street. Why do you think we're here? And they'd find a number of people say, I don't know, why are you here? So it did happen here in New York. But now, look, your point is well taken. I understand what you mean. And there wasn't a similar soul-searching going on during Iran-Contra or any of the other situations where Republicans were under siege, Ed Meese or any of that. Scott, thank you. We'll take a break and be back right after this. Hey, I want to tell you about Equal Time. It's a live program on CNBC originating in Washington. It explores both political issues and the personalities that make the nation's capital tick or, on occasion, explode. It's hosted by Mary Madeline, Deputy Political Director of the Bush campaign, and her sidekick, journalist Jane Wallace. These two give you the inside scoop, and they're fun, they're fascinating, and they're female. They're info babes, and they're only on CNBC, home of the Talk All-Stars. Madeline and Wallace, they'll say things that even make me blush, and I mean it. Check local listings for time and channel number.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
This is Wayne Alley. 3rd District Congressman Martin Lancaster has assumed duties as chairman of the Congressional Study Group on Germany. Congressman Lancaster is qualified to assume this leadership post because of his involvement in German-American military issues and his recognition of the growing importance of trade and other economic cooperation between this country and Germany. The Congressional Study Group on Germany is the largest study group in Congress with more than 100 members in the House and Senate. The group hosts luncheons, conferences, and other opportunities for German political and business leaders who visit this country to discuss issues of mutual concern with members of Congress. The study group will host a conference on economic development strategies in the Sanderling Inn at Duck, North Carolina, April 5th through April 8th. That conference will focus on economic development and job creation strategies used in Germany and in the United States. The Intruders Bill, which the public wanted, is eligible to come up in the approaching short session of the General Assembly. But Representative Carolyn Russell says the public should know that the bill which came out of committee has been amended to the point that it's nothing compared to the original bill, which was presented to the public as being what the public wanted to protect both the homeowner and the victim.
The bill had been amended considerably to say if you have reasonable doubt that somebody's breaking into your house or going to threaten your family, you may use reasonable force. That's attorney lingo. The bill that came out of committee this past week is not a whole lot better than the situation as it now exists. You look at that bill and it says, I mean, the courts will have a field day with it. I'm going to have to justify that I had reasonable doubt. What am I going to say to an intruder? Sit down, have a cup of coffee, and let me determine what your reasonable intentions are. And then, my reasonable force, is that a paring knife, a gun, or whatever? I'm very disappointed how the bill got amended in committee.
Representative Carolyn Russell. A bail bondsman who's a Democratic candidate for sheriff of Wayne County, David Soup Oliver of Goldsboro, observed in a public appearance that some of the other 6 candidates say they will not change the manner in which the sheriff's office is run if they're elected. Oliver contends it has to be changed. He declared families are afraid to go to the mall at night and do not want to leave their homes for fear of break-ins and burglaries. Oliver said all he wants to see is change and declared someone is needed who can deliver change in a hurry because people are settling disputes with 9mm handguns instead of their fists. I'm Wayne Alley.
Our skies are going to stay variably cloudy the rest of today. We got a lot more rain this morning than it looked like we were going to get, and now we're just going to have a few scattered showers for what's left of the day. Again, a little bit of sun will manage to warm us up into the mid-50s to near 60 for highs this